Prime Minister Keir Starmer, his net favourability rating is his lowest to date and his joint lowest recorded by YouGov of any Prime Minister other than Liz Truss. So just 1 in 6 Britons have a favourable opinion of Keir Starmer. I wonder who they are, and there's certainly no signs of that turning around anytime soon. But Esther, this comes amid further reports of his disastrous handling of immigration. GB News is reporting that more than 65,000 asylum seekers have arrived in Britain from France during Keir Starmer's first 19 months in power. So this has surpassed Boris Johnson's 65,000 figure in almost half the amount of time. So Esther, no wonder his popularity is not improving, and there certainly must be a lot of anger about this over in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, Keir Starmer's premiership has been like watching a very unfunny parody of what a prime minister should actually be. I mean, this is a man whose government has managed to rack up a dozen U-turn and broken election promises in just over the year that he's actually been prime minister and Labour has been in power. But on the small boats and immigration front, I think that's probably where he loses the most credibility, insofar as he had any credibility to begin with, because he explicitly campaigned on the adults being back in the room. He cancelled the Rwanda policy on day one, which was actually in many ways based on what the Australian policy was. And to even speak to the heart of that, the Conservative government hired Australian consultants to consult Britain to deal with this particular issue. He cancelled it on day one, squandered all the money that had been spent already and invested in it, and said he will get a handle on this. And the fact that clearly his slogan of smashing the boats probably meant something else than actually stopping them has shown that the government has lost complete and total control over this chaos. And this week in particular has made it even more ridiculous, because while he's talking about the self-determination of Greenlanders and, European countries have sent a combined total force of, wait for it, 37 soldiers to defend Greenland from Donald Trump. He's talking about the self-determination of these people, and he can't even defend the British coast
Oh.
from a bunch of dinghies crossing the channel. I mean, it's beyond ridiculous.
Yeah, it's such a joke. It's interesting, though, looking at the polls, that it seems that Nigel Farage has slipped, recording his lowest net favourability rating since April last year. I want to get your thoughts on why that might be, with several MPs moving from the Conservative Party to Reform. What does this mean for the future of Reform and also the future of the Conservative Party?
Yes, I mean, it is quite concerning, but it's come off the back of, high profile conservatives like Robert Jenrick defecting to the Reform Party. And I think many core Reform voters are thinking, is the Reform Party going to be Tory light?
Mm,
One of the things that made them so popular out of the gate was the fact that, they are not the Conservative Party, which has basically
yeah.
put Britain through 14 years of complete incompetence. But at the same time, the practicality of governance means you need failed Tories to learn how to not fail. And this is something that the Trump administration has shown. His first term in power, he was basically fighting against forces that he didn't know existed. And in his second term, a year in, he's really got his ducks in a row in terms of what he wants to do. And I think Nigel Farage is recognizing that reality. They have put a deadline on when they will accept Tory defectors. I believe it's on May 7th, when the local elections are going to be up, and we're anticipating a very, very bloody nose for the Labour Party across Scotland and Wales. But yes, it's understandable to see why people are jittery about this sort of thing, because people don't want the Tories and they don't want to see it reincarnated in reform.